Okay, let's jump to the hate list, headlined by the Tampa Bay running backs against the Rams, Matthew, on Sunday Night Football. Expectation, Bucky Irving may be back for this one. And so it becomes a huge puzzle, actually, who is going to get the work between Bucky, Sean Tucker, and Rachaad White.
And that's the point, right? I mean, even if Bucky Irving doesn't return, you know, you're still like, what's the workload? Did Sean Tucker earn a bigger workload here? Is it going to be more of a committee between him and Rachaad White? There's definitely a chance that it's a three-headed committee as well. And it's worth noting that the Rams are tied for the fewest rushing touchdowns allowed to opposing running backs. It's been a really good run defense as well. Derrick Henry. Derrick Henry is literally the only running back since week 5 to run for more than 67 yards against the Rams, right? 3 times this season. Only 3 times this season have the Rams even given up 15 fantasy points to an opposing running back, and 2 of them were Christian McCaffrey. So you just got a really good run defense with a very messy situation here. I will say at the moment my ranks are, I have Irving at 23, I have Rachaad White at 37, I have Sean Tucker at 46. But, you know, like, it's just a mess, and I think you want to wait to see it. And the fact that you've got multiple running backs in a tough matchup here, Lawrence, to me, it's a stay away if you can.
So Sean Tucker just had that big game,
yes,
right?
Sir.
Remember last season he had the game where he ran for almost 200 yards, and then
the Saints game.
We kind of never heard from him again for that season. And we know they like him, but it's just like you just never know, especially if Bucky Irving back in the fold. But to your point, still a tougher matchup anyway.
Yep. My best guess, and it's just a guess on how this is going to shake out, is I think that Bucky Irving will play. I think he'll split early down work with Sean Tucker, and then Rachaad White is the predominant third down back. And none of them.
And that's an ugly situation, fantasy.
You don't want any of them.
You don't want any of it. No, exactly.
Okay, well,
and then, by the way, and then watch like Baker Mayfield score 2 rushing touchdowns,
exactly.
like just right, and like none of them will be useful. Yeah,
indeed. Okay, well, a guy you still want to start, but I would lower expectations for a little bit. Staying in that same game, Kyren Williams, going up against the Bucs rush defense, which I know 2 weeks ago they gave up some long runs to Travion Henderson, but I don't think that's predictive of what's to come. Like those were two isolated runs on a down-to-down
and Kyren Williams
basis.
ain't Travion Henderson from a speed.
Doesn't quite have that burst. I think it's more indicative of what James Cook did, or rather didn't do, against their defense. Even in a game that finished at, 76 total points, James Cook wasn't really able to get much going on the ground. It's still Vita Vea. It's still the Bucs run defense. I think the total for this one is almost 50. I think it might be a bit more of a defensive struggle than that, and Kyren Williams struggles to get going on the ground. Another running back who may struggle, Lawrence, is Ashton Jeanty, who, even in good matchups lately, can't really do a great deal, and now he gets a brutal matchup against the Browns' rush defense.
Yeah, and the funny thing about it, too, is, Jay, in their past 2 games, Cleveland has allowed both Derrick Henry and Breece Hall to have 80 or more rushing yards, right, which is solid. We'll take that. The thing is, Derrick Henry's got a quarterback named Lamar who you got to worry about running. Breece Hall's got one named Justin. You don't have to worry about Geno taking the ball, running down the field. And so for Ashton Jeanty, who is already struggling, look, Week 11 versus Dallas, caught 6 of 8 targets, 27 yards, still didn't get double-digit fantasy points. That's crazy. If I told you those passing numbers for any running back, you would assume, like, oh, especially this PPR, not double-digit fantasy points. 1 game this season with at least 75 rushing yards, and he's only got 1 game this whole season where he's got double-digit points in fantasy, and he didn't score a touchdown. So he needs a touchdown for it to pay off. And in a game that's 36.5 over/under, I don't know how many touchdowns are going to be in that. So he's on my hate list for this week.
Yeah, Browns defense is legit. The team's going to finish like 4-13, but that defense is unassailable.
It's a defense that you could see playing in the AFC Championship game.
Yeah. Here's how good the defense is that the team's probably going to go 4-13, 5-12, whatever. They're probably going to have the defensive player of the year in Myles Garrett, who's minus 300 on DraftKings, and they're probably going to have the defensive rookie of the year in Carson Schwestinger, who's minus 220 on DraftKings there.
Player.
Aloha Bricks, that Raiders-Browns game needs to be broadcast on the radio. It doesn't even deserve to be broadcasted on the TV.
Yeah.
I like the TV.
On the TV.
The television set.
See, Aloha Bricks, we can't do that, man, because we got a quarterback in there that's...
Yeah, that's what I'm missing, Aloha Bricks. Like that, the Raiders-Browns game, like I love the comment, but the truth is that it's must see TV.
That is going to be
because one of two things happens. Either Shedeur Sanders is awesome, which will be great to see and fun, and he can shut up all the haters, or Shedeur Sanders is terrible. And like all the haters will be enjoying it and,
it'll be
dancing around. But either way, Shedeur is one of the more polarizing players in the NFL. I think that's fair to say, right? One of the more polarizing players.
That might be an understatement.
and so just like, you've got lovers and haters alike that will be tuning in to watch that game.
It's very much, and me and Connor was talked about this a little bit the other day. It's very much Tim Tebow-like when he was doing this thing. Shedeur Sanders could throw the ball a lot better than Tebow, but I'm just talking about like the whole
circus.
Yeah.
I will say as well, like Geno Smith has not been good this year. Love Geno Smith, great story. Won money on him for Comeback Player of the Year when I used to win money on that award before I started losing on it annually.
Yes, for sure.
But he is also it's pretty bad, and that's kind of compelling theory as well. Like, where's Geno going to throw it next?
Oh, it's unbelievable.
So it's going to be a bit of a
mess.
He's
got to run. He's got to worry about Myles Garrett hunting him down.
That's no good. Although Hard Bricks, okay, then we can broadcast it on the Weather Channel for you, Barry. All right, so we'll speak to the Weather Channel people. Speaking of the weather, by the way, as soon as I looked at you, Lawrence, I was changing my papers in the rundown. I expected them to just fly away. Just kind of still in my head from
I'm
Philadelphia.
still freezing from that day.
And the link. All right,
and by the way, we have to. It's even worse. This Sunday we're here. We're in the friendly confines of the happy hour bar. But the following Sunday we have to go to Kansas City. We're doing it live from Arrowhead.
Yeah, well,
that's going to be very cold.
It will be cold. I think it'll be a good test for us as men because we failed the first test. Then we're going to do.
Well, I'll tell you what, I'm going to be ready this time.
I'm going to be ready too. And also,
ready.
George Savarese is not going to be ready because he will be. Because it's in Missouri, not Pennsylvania, so legally he can host the show and travel to it. But he will be hosting. He won't be ready.
No, he's as soft as anyone I've ever met.
He's as soft as butter.
Yeah, my God. His
soft as butter on a 100-degree day.
God.
George the Greek don't like it in windy Arrowhead.
Absolutely not. He's used to being on the sandy beaches, sipping martinis.
Indeed. Yep. All right, Pebble Beach, George.
Hey, it's Matthew Berry from NBCSports.com and RotorWorld.com, and I want to thank you so much for watching whatever it is you just watched, or if nothing else, being too lazy to click out of the autoplay after this video started, after whatever it is you actually wanted to watch finished. But now that you're here, I'd like to take a moment here to ask you respectfully now, okay? I'm asking you respectfully to subscribe to the NFL on NBC YouTube channel. You'll get the latest Roto-World fantasy news headlines, all sorts of great shows, including my own Fantasy Football Happy Hour. So go subscribe now. Again, I'm asking respectfully.